Hi guys, my name is Carla and welcome to my plant channel Chlorophyll is the New Black. Today I'm going to film part 2 of my plant house tour. This is going to be the second part of medium to low light plants. The difference is that these ones I have a humidifier since a month ago. So the condition is a little bit different and I wanted to show you what type of plants do I have here. Well, starting with the tour, I'm going to go a little bit faster because here I have a lot of plants and we need to finish it in one go. Yay! So starting here on the floor, this plant is here because I don't have that much space to quarantine plants. And in this case, this one had trips, so I don't want to mix it with the other plants. This one is a Dendrobium Nobile, and I have it since a while. It hasn't bloomed for me, but something funny is that it decided to put a keiki. And a keiki is a small clone of itself, as you can see here, and roots are already pretty long, so I could actually cut it from it and grow it separately because it might be already self-sufficient. So that's great. Next one here we have Ascocenda, and this one I got it in a party with a friend. So there's a cutting, it's a bit bold, but it's already rooted, so I hope it does better. Then here I have some cuttings of my Orchid Laetitia discolor. This one is a terrestrial orchid and it's doing quite okay. Next one I have here a Hoya Krimson 8. You can see that the foliage is beautiful and pretty plump, so it's doing quite okay. Then here I have this Hoya. Let me show you. Now it's growing this new leaf. It's quite exciting. So it's doing something because for a while it did nothing. Then here, this one is an Alocasia Dragon and it's putting a beautiful new leaf. So you can see the red back here. Looks pretty nice. Then here I have this beautiful Dendrobium Sa-nook. You can see there the beautiful flowers and it has a beautiful citrusy smell, one of the best that I have ever smelled. So I love this orchid for that, and the flowers as well are just pretty. Then here I have this Alocasia Dragon scale that I haven't showed before, but it came with this leaf unfolding and it has new point of growth. So here you can see one and in the bottom there another one. So it's doing pretty good. Then here I have a Philodendron Birkin that is also doing good. And then here I have this beautiful velvety Philodendron verrucosum. It came with this leaf folded and now it's totally unfolded and it's growing the next one, so that's exciting. And if you want to as well see the video of the unboxing, I will link it below. Then here I have as well this Anthurium clarinervum, and here it has a flower. Well, that is almost spent because it has been a long time with it. And I thought that it was growing a new leaf, but I think it's a new flower. I'm still not sure. I haven't seen any new flower grown from this one, so I'm still a bit excited to find out what it is, but it looks like a flower to me. But yeah, it's doing pretty great. So next I have this propagation box that I show you as well on how I rooted my Hoyas. And here are some Hoyas that are still rooting. So here I have the Hoya parasitica, and then this one, some of the leaves are getting a little bit dehydrated, but it's also doing new growth. It's not very visible here, but I'll show later. Then here I have a Dracaena that I bought for €4. It was in discount. Crazy, eh? Very cheap and beautiful. I like it. Here I have this one. I got it back because it was not doing great. It was a Hoya that was at my work. Then here as well, it's this kind of nursery area. This one is my Macodes petola that I'm also trying to reroot. And then this one is my Lepantis. This is a very small orchid that is very fascinating. I like it a lot and the marking is just very astonishing. Then here I have a keiki from one orchid that sadly I lost. And this keiki is about almost 2 years old. It was burned by my boyfriend in the kitchen That's why I moved it here, but it's growing a new cane, as you can see. And yeah, then here I have, I think this one was a Nelly Eiler, an orchid. I will put the picture on the screen. And then I have here in this beautiful planter this fern. I don't remember the name. This is the only fern that I have, so I'm not very acquainted with ferns. But it's growing pretty well. This big one is new. Then here I have this Alocasia African mask or poly. I have two of them. I grew them from the tubules that you can get, tuberculous. I don't know, this kind of roots that you can get. And this is a bit dusty, but you can see that the points are growing, so that's good. They were not doing very good this winter because they are very sensitive to cold, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to get one of these ones. And apparently they are very susceptible to spider mites. I haven't had the problem, but that's apparently what happens. And you can see here that this one is also growing in the next leaf. Then here I have the Sediria japonica that I featured as well in my last video, and it's growing a new leaf. That one didn't have it. Then here I have some Hawortias that are babies from one Hawortia I have in my kitchen. And then here I have this Ceropegia Woodia. I forget, but it's doing pretty good. It's trailing long. And something very funny that I didn't see before is that it has these round pieces that are probably saying, report me, report me. So that's good to know because I can already do some propagation with it. And I never saw these ones growing in the vines before, so that's good. Then here I have this orchid that I received it like this in order to be safe. So the good news are that it came just with the cut leaf that you see there, and it's growing a new leaf. So it's recovering somehow. It's doing okay. It will take a long time until it looks like it should look, but well, we have time. Then here I have this cacti that I grew from seeds. These are Mamillaria. I don't remember the species exactly. But yeah, 2 years, and they are pretty small, so they take a quite long time. So you should value your cactus because they take a long time to grow. Then here I have this bamboo stick that I bought from IKEA for €1. Funny story is that I bought it like a year ago with a friend, and she came to see my house and she was like, oh, you have so many plants, blah blah blah, and where is your bamboo that I don't see it? And then I showed it, she was telling me, yeah, mine, you know, has grown all this much of new leaves, so like I'm super excited. What is yours? What has happened to it? And I show her this one. You can see that it has grown quite a bit. Oh, sorry for the light. Quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty good, I would say. And I think that the only difference between me and her is that, because we both grow it in water, so it's the same treatment, is that probably I have it in a place that it receives way more light. So that's where you can see how light impact your plants. You can have plants that normally are used to more light in lower light conditions, but they will just grow slower. Yeah, so this is a pretty good example of it. Then here I have this Hoya Crimson Queen, and it has grown as well. New vines here, you can see new runners. I sadly broke that one, so that I will probably be trying to reroot it soon. And then here I have this orchid that is super long, so it just tipped over all the time, so I allocated this elephant to help it with the load. And yeah, you can see it there. But this one is a vanilla orchid. This is a vanilla planifolia. It is native from Mexico, and it's where you get your vanilla from, which means all the vanilla ice cream that you have ever eaten. So I think that's a quite interesting fact to know. So vanilla orchid. Then here I have this Maxillaria Malibu that has these beautiful flowers. Funny is that it smells like coconut, and all the room smells like coconut because of this orchid. So nice, eh? Then here I have this Alocasia Pink Dragon, and here I have more orchids. This one is Aliodoro that also has a very beautiful smell. And then here I have some hybrids that are a bit more uncommon, which means you probably won't see them in normal town centrums, which means garden centrums, sorry. So next one is, I'll go a little bit back here. This one. So this one is a Dendrobium Sa-nook, I think. It came with no name, and it's going to rebloom there, so you can see the flower pots. It has beautiful purple flowers, and when it flowers I will put it on in the updates. Also, you can see here that I have this plant that I totally forgot the name, but it's one plant that does synergy with ants. So in the middle, in the bulb that you can see there, it has some cavities, and that's where the ants live. And then they poop in there, and basically those are nutrients for the plant, and the plant offers a house to the ants. So it's a synergy, and yeah, nature is quite interesting. Nice. Then this one, it's I forgot the name, but I will put the name in the screen if I find the picture as well, the picture. And following here we have this Monstera Deliciosa variegated. I got it and it was still there, and the next leaves that grew back are these small ones. So you can see it even looks like a pothos. But since then that I bought it in the middle of last year, it has grown all these new leaves, as you can see, and it is back to the fenestration of 3 of one side, 1 on the other one, like these big leaves in the bottom. So I hope it does better and grow bigger, because it's quite a beautiful plant. And you also see that some vines are more variegated than others, like in this case. Then here I have my big Monstera. This is also Monstera Deliciosa, but the not variegated version. And it has grown quite a bit. Since I staked it, yeah, the leaves just grew bigger and bigger. It was still growing in winter, it stopped growing at some point, but now it is putting, as you can see there, a new leaf. So I'm quite excited, and I hope that this one is even bigger. Then here I have some cuttings. Well, they're not cuttings, they're propagations, so leaf propagation for succulents that I took from my succulent arrangement. And then here I have a bunch of Hoyas that were mostly, I got them as a cutting and I root them, and I also have the video if you're interested. I will link it down below. So starting for this one I already got it like this, but it is growing new leaves there. I don't know if you can see them. So it's growing, yay! And this one is an Obubata Splash, Hoya, by the way. This one is also a Hoya Obubata Splash. And then here I have this Hoya Sunrise. Then I have this Hoya Diptera that it was already doing something since I was rooting it. So you see that the green light leaves are actually new. So those ones are new growth. Then here I have a Hoya Pubicalix red bottom, and you can see that it also has some new growth in here. Maybe it's a bit difficult to feature, but it's that one. And also under the leaves it has another growth that I cannot see now. Then here I have my Hoya Thomsonii, and I got it like this, and since then it rooted and it has grown this new small pair of leaves. Then here I have my Hoya Serpents, and you can see that this part, it's all new growth. Then here I have this Hoya Matilde. Those are also new growth, and I mean it's doing good. Then I have as well the Hoya Chingungensis, that is this Hoya strip with small leaves that is going up here, and it already grew a new vine there, so you can see it's doing pretty good. And then these Hoyas I haven't featured before. This is a Hoya elliptica that I had at my job, but it's also doing pretty great. It has grown quite some new leaves, so you can see here the ones with the darkened stem are new leaves. All of those ones are new leaves, so it is doing pretty good. Then here I have the Hoya Corona red, I think. Oh, here I can see it. Sorry, Coronaria. Oh my god. This crisis is really affecting me. So Hoya Coronaria red, and it also has grown a bit. You can see all of this is new growth, and it is doing pretty well. Leaves are even bigger than before, so that's a good sign. And then I have here this Hoya Kerrii that I also had at my job, and it's not doing much, but looks pretty healthy. And here, lastly, I have this vanilla orchid. So this is also a vanilla planifolia like the previous one, but this is the variegated version. Now I have it there because I had it in a quite dry condition and the roots started to dry out, so I decided to nurse it back and put it in some humid sphagnum so that it regrows the roots. Then here I have this pendicious orchid that is an Ascocenda 50th state cross with Ascocenda Violas, if I remember correctly. And I mean, it's not doing much, you can see it there, but I guess it's happy. Here, coming back to the hanging plants, I have this Scindapsus pictus that has grown pretty long, so it's actually resting on the table because it's pretty long. I have gotten some cuttings from it and I am planning to plant them back so that it doesn't look so bare, because you can see that it's just a couple of vines there. Then here I have this Pothos Marble queen, and it's also growing pretty good, I would say. And down here I have this this one is my Peperomia obtusifolia variegated. I think the variegation is more on the other side, but you can see it there. And it also has quite long flowers. So these are the type of flowers that the Peperomia shoots. So these kind of rat tail things. And yeah, it has pretty long flowers. Incredible. Here I have my Hoya Carnosa tricolor that is also doing quite okay. Here is a new vine. And here I have my Hoya Carnosa compacta that is also growing pretty well, I would say. And you can see long. So these ones are the plants that I have here. So let me show you the next room. Well, we are now in our next room. I will just give you an overview. So this room is mostly my nursery. So I will start with these ones. This one is a Phalaenopsis with a white flower. As I mentioned before in some other video, I have many orchids here that are recovering orchids. I got them because people were throwing them away because they didn't have flowers anymore. And I told them, please don't throw them away, just give it to me. As you can see, it has only 2 leaves that were actually infested with some plague that I haven't detected, so I was observing in my little microscope if I could see what it was. And I mean, it's beautiful. You can see that it's partially recovered, it's flowering, that takes quite some energy from the plant, and it's doing good. The root system is also quite good now that is hydrated, so yeah, it's doing good. Then here I have this Begonia that here is mostly known as polka dot. And this Begonia has mildew, powdery mildew, so I decided to bring it here. Here I have more orchids. This one, I have no idea what color of orchid it is. I mean, it's a Phalaenopsis, but I don't know the color of the flower, because as I said, it's one of the orchids that were going to be thrown away. But the good thing is that it's growing secondary flower spikes, so you can see those light stems there, and here, those ones that are also even growing leaves. Soon I will know which color they are, so that's pretty exciting. Then here I have a neon pothos that is doing great. Then here I have another orchid. This one I know which color the flowers are because I bought it. Then this one is another recovering orchid that is doing pretty good, and I haven't cut the flower spikes because it's also trying to put a secondary flower spike. Let me see if I can show you here. There, that eye, it's awaking, so I may have a secondary flower spike from there. I would really like to know which color the flowers are. Then here I have this Alocasia Venti, I think it's the name. And I got it in a lavauge, that means like a team building day that we did with the lab. Then here I have this Alopecia woodii, string of hearts again. You can see. I also got it back because it was dying off. You can see here are the older stems that are already dried out. It was left with 3 leaves, just 3 leaves. I thought it wasn't going to make it, but yeah, it's just recovering. I have many recovering plants that surprised me quite a bit here. Then here I have another orchid. It was the one that was burned by my boyfriend in the stove. Then this one is also one that I got as a present because they knew that I was treating recovering orchids, so this one was sick and then they gave it to me to try to nurse it back to health. Then here, this one is as well one of the orchids that I received like 8 months ago, and look at this. It's already flowering and the flowers are just so beautiful. Then this one is a Calathea Rattlesnake. After the winter that was cold and very dry, I was left with this leaf that was still a little bit green. I thought I was going to lose it, but look, it put a new leaf. So I am pretty excited that it's going to recover at some point, hopefully. Same happened with this Pachira aquatica. It was like the stems were bare. Important, if you have a Pachira aquatica, they're very sensible to cold. So this one started to lose all the leaves. It was like way fuller before. And I was left with bare stems like these ones that you can see here. I was about to throw it away, but I decided to give it a second chance. And look at this, back. Like nothing happened. By the way, this one is from Mexico. I was surprised to find it out. Then here I have this jewel orchid. This one is a Lydicia discolor and it's doing pretty well. Then here we have another prayer plant that suffered this winter. But okay, it's having new growth there as well. And this one is the Maranta leuconera that has the back red and some pink on the top. But well, it's hanging on there. Then here I have this orchid that I still need to go in because it has a lot of dust. There is some construction going on next to here, so I just collect tons of dust here. Anyway, so super surprising because look at this. This one is a keiki. It's a clone from the orchid and I am super amazed. Look how big it is. So this is a separate plant. Well, will be a separate plant soon. And it is growing another keiki there and it has other 2 keikis there. So come on, it's growing keikis like crazy. And the flower spike is growing actually from the keiki, so that it's just incredible. So then here I have as well this prayer plant. This one is called, well, it's mostly known by Calathea Network, I think. It has been reclassified, but yeah, it is known by the marking of the leaves that you can see. That is quite interesting. And you can see the winter leaves, crunchy again, the new leaves that are beautiful. And as well, I thought that this was not going to recover, but look at this. A lot of new growth. Then I have this, here is called Pannekuchen plant, or it also goes by money plant. Then here I have this Dendrobium Nobile that has beautiful orange flowers. This one is not doing very great here, and I will change it because Dendrobiums need way more sun, way more warmth. So I think it was kind of a mistake to bring it here. But it was recovering, so I thought, nah. Anyway. Next, I have here the cuttings of my Monstera Deliciosa. You can see that it's starting to root. Yay! And then here I have my Maxillaria Charism Joan. And yeah, I featured this one in my last video of unboxing, and it came with apparently with a deficiency. That is what Class and Orchid told me, so they offer me a 10% discount in my next purchase, and they will include a free fertilizer apparently. Still, it lost a ton of leaves. It's also growing new leaves, so that's good, and well, it's hanging on there. Next one, I have these two that I received not long ago. This one is a Hoya. Let me tell you the name. It's a Hoya caudata, and this one is an Oceoclades maculata that I got not long ago, as I said. I bought them in Orchid Deluxe, and I think that what surprises me was a little bit the client service, because I sent an email. I got the Oceoclades with some black and cape spots in the pseudobulb, and I sent an email. They answered right away, and then they told me that they were going to replace it, that they would send someone personally to pick it up, and that's what they did. So I actually got this new one that it's a little bit bigger than the one that I received. I'll put a picture of the other one. And I mean, in best case scenario, you receive a healthy individual since the beginning, right? But things can go wrong in transport or during packing, and I appreciate that actually Orchid Deluxe takes the time to answer right away and have quite a good custom service. Next one, I have here my Differobacter reflector that looks incredible as well. Look at the markings of the leaves. I don't know why these ones aren't that popular. I mean, they're pretty cheap now, and you can see that here it has new growth, so it's doing pretty good. Then here I have what was my pride and joy, my beautiful Ficus elastica. Sadly, it was infested with spider mites. At that point I was like till the top with them, so I actually bought a quite harsh treatment for it. Poor plant, I just burned it. So, very important, please, when you try a new treatment on your plant, first try it on one leaf or so, check that it works, and then spray it on your plant, and don't leave it on the sun. Read the instructions, very important. Then I want to feature this. This one is also an Epipremnum aureum, so golden pothos, that comes from cuttings of the mother plant that I have in my living room. And what I was telling you is that, just let me illustrate it. So you can see that the initial leaves are like not that big, and if you make it climb, leaves start to grow. And look at what we got. This is way bigger than my hand. It's just amazing. And that's what you get if you make it climb. Yay! Next here I have my Peperomia quadrangularis, and it is in inflorescence. So these kind of rat tail things are as well flowers. So it is doing okay. I think it looks pretty nice. It's bushy. And here I have this Monstera that I bought for about €4, and since I got it, it has grown 3 leaves. This is one of those ones, but look at the last leaf that it has grown. It's huge compared to the previous ones. Soon I will repot it, and I will take you along so that you can see how also I stake them, because if you do that, then you will get a Monstera like the one that I just showed you in the other room. Okay guys, that was all for today. I hope you liked the video. I thought, again, it's a little bit long, but there were also so many plants to feature and to talk about that is just impossible to do a short video, I think. But I hope it was entertaining enough. You know the drill. If you liked the video, click thumbs up. If you didn't, click thumbs down. If you like the channel, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. And see you for the next updates and the next videos. Bye!